Welcome into this week's edition of Lauren's Lane, as always presented by Dome Hats. If you need hats for your company or your team, visit them online at domehats.com or go see them in Jax Beach. I'm here with Matt Hayes, college football writer, obviously on XL Primetime here on 1010 XL from noon to 3 and from Saturday Down South. Matt, long before anybody sensed that there was trouble in Gainesville, you wrote about the fact that Dan Mullen and Scott Strickland were having some issues last season. Take me through that.
Well, it really started even before last season when Dan Mullen was basically caught cheating by the NCAA when he went to Seattle and tried to have a face-to-face meeting with a recruit, five-star recruit in Seattle, didn't get the recruit, did it during a dead period, so it was an NCAA violation. And the ironic part about that is Dan's not a good recruiter, and
right. So he's
his problem was right.
But not actually doing any good.
Right, cheating. And that was a bigger deal than a lot of people think it was. Whether you believe it or not, Florida holds itself above others as they're doing things the right way. They hadn't been on probation in 30 years, and he put him on probation. He got a show cause order from the NCAA, which basically meant if anyone else tried to hire him within a specific 6-month time frame, they would have told the NCAA why they want to hire him, and it's a long and drawn-out process. But anyway, it's basically telling a coach, look, you did the ultimate worst of what you could have done. That's what a show cause is. So that was a big deal. And then the season begins, and it's a COVID season, and they go to Texas A&M, and they lose a late game because they fumbled the ball. And after the game, Dan goes to the cameras and says, I want to pack the swamp. In the middle of a pandemic, he says that. And then the Missouri game rolls around, and he doesn't think his team is playing that well at halftime. He starts a near brawl at halftime. The game's over. They win easy. Press conference after that, he's got the Darth Vader suit on. It's Halloween, but he's got the Darth Vader suit on after he almost incited a riot, which is awesome because a year later, Eli Drinkwitz gets the last laugh. He comes in with his Jedi, and Jedis always win. So.
And he said, may the force be with you.
And he said, may the force be with you. Then you get to the Cotton Bowl game after Florida loses the SEC championship game by a touchdown.
Oh, wait, you forgot the shoe.
The shoe, but the shoe really wasn't. The shoe, everybody focuses on the shoe. That's not a big deal. The loss to LSU was a big deal. The shoe wasn't a big deal. You lose to LSU by a double digits, an LSU team that had 53 scholarship players that was in complete disarray. A bad loss. You get to the Cotton Bowl. You lose badly to Oklahoma, and Dan Mullen says that wasn't our team. Our team was the team that lost to Florida. And basically what he's doing there is not only minimizing his players that are out on the field, but what did you do for those 15 bowl practices if that's not your team? So I think there was a lot of consternation about that. They were trying to figure out a contract situation. Dan didn't feel like he was appreciated. The Florida people were not happy with the NCAA stuff, were not happy with the way he dealt with those press conferences. He embarrassed them. He embarrassed the university on 3 different occasions. They eventually worked it out to the point where, okay, we're going to give you an extension. You're going to be the 5th highest paid coach in college football, but the buyout's going to be a lot less. The buyout went down to $12 million. It's $6 million now, and another $1 million over the next 6 years, and that can be mitigated, by the way, if he gets another job. So Scott Strickland did the right thing with that. You fast forward to this season, and it just all starts to unravel. You lose 9 of 11 Power 5 games. You can't do that. You can't do that at Florida, especially when you don't recruit as well as he needed to recruit there. You're chasing Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M, all 4 major programs in the league that can recruit at a high level. Texas and Oklahoma will come in soon. You got 2 more people that are recruiting at a high level. So Florida needs a recruiter.
Hey, this is Jeff Whitaker with Dome Hats. Do you need custom hats for your team or your business? Or you just want to see what we've got for sale in your favorite Florida State or Florida gear? Come on down to the bar here in Jax Beach. We'll be waiting for you.
As a Gator fan, I guess I want to ask the question, is he really as good at coaching quarterbacks and at calling plays as we were led to believe based off of the way that this season has gone?
Yeah, 100%. 100% I think he was. I think he made a mistake with the quarterbacks. I think, and the problem is Anthony Richardson's injury didn't help either. So if he didn't, the one that we know of, the hamstring injury, the other ones are, I think they're all kind of fabricated just for reasons only known to Dan Mullen. I think Dan's a great coach. There's no doubt about it. He's just not a good recruiter. And if you're at Florida, you've got to be a recruiter and a good coach. And Florida now, when you're looking toward a new coach, the bottom line is Florida needs normal, just normal. They don't need a crazy guy who says he can get his dog to play quarterback, and then for 3.5 years doesn't have a quarterback. So maybe his dog would have played better. They don't need a guy like Dan Mullen who thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, who's not good with recruiting, who's not good with people. They just need a normal ball coach who's terrific at recruiting, who works at it, who embraces it, and then who can develop players and get on the field and make good decisions. That's not that hard of a resume to find in college football right now.
Well, I will say I was a little disappointed that Mullen didn't stick around to coach the FSU game this weekend, just because he is getting paid a lot of money to walk away, and I felt like that would be the right thing to do for his players, even though I understand he said he didn't want to be a distraction.
It would have been a distraction.
And I get that part, but I still think for those seniors, it would have been good to have him on the sidelines one last time. And obviously, I still want Florida to win that football game and keep Florida State from being bowl eligible and for Florida to get bowl eligible. But let's get into the next football coach at the University of Florida. A lot of talk about Billy Napier. There are planes being tracked to Lafayette, Louisiana, because that's what everybody does nowadays in coaching searches. So if it is Billy Napier, how excited should Gator Nation be? If it's not Billy Napier, who should it be?
If it's Billy Napier, you should be thrilled. Don't let anybody tell you about, oh, you're getting a guy from the group of five and he's a guy who was coaching at Louisiana. Billy Napier's a guy who's coached under Dabo Swinney, coached under Nick Saban, was the lead recruiter under both those guys, and got a bunch of mega recruits. And a guy that in his first job, his very first job, gets there year one at Louisiana. They go 7-7. They get to the Sun Belt Championship game. They lose that game. Since then, they've won 31 of 36 games. And they will play in the Sun Belt Championship this game against an App State team that they beat by 28 earlier this year. And they're 10-1 right now. So I would be thrilled if I were a Florida fan. I kind of compare him to a little bit to like a Billy Donovan idea. And it's not that I'm saying he's Billy Donovan. I'm saying it's the idea of Billy worked under Rick Pitino, figured out the way and how to do things and how to do it correctly. And then he went off on his own and got his first job at a small school at Marshall, had some success, and then boom, Florida comes calling. So I kind of compare Billy Napier with that. If not Billy Napier, I think Matt Campbell at Iowa State would be a great guy, another fantastic recruiter, people person. Florida needs a normal people person that can recruit. He's one. Mario Cristobal would be another one, but no matter who they get, they're going to have to pay money. There's no doubt about that.
But I think that's the one good part about being, a Gator fan is that there is a wealth of people that have a wealth of money. And so that shouldn't be an issue this time around. Now, if this coach doesn't work out and there's another huge buyout down the road, then I think you are talking about maybe a financial situation that is a little bit too dire to overcome. So I think this hire is so incredibly important, Matt.
Yeah, if it's Billy Napier, it's going to work. If it's Matt Campbell, it's going to work. If it's Mario Cristobal, it's going to work. I wouldn't worry about any of those three guys. And I think those are probably the three guys that are near the top of the list. I would say that. If you're asking me college guys, there is kind of like maybe a guy kind of off the radar maybe. Dan Quinn, who was a former Florida DC under Will Muschamp, went to the Falcons, obviously had a nice run with the Falcons, got to the Super Bowl. He's really well regarded. I think he might have a shot too. But I think they're going to go right now, zeroing on college guys.
All right, sounds good. That is Matt Hayes, Saturday Down South on XL Primetime. Thank you so much for watching this week's edition of Lauren's Lane. I certainly hope Gator Nation out there feels good about the next potential coach. And as always, thanks to Dome Hats for presenting Lauren's Lane. If you need hats for your company or your team, visit domehats.com.